about an industry that's dominated by white heterosexual males.
So on the topic of representation, Sam, could you speak on that?
I mean, I think, you know, a lot of what you said, you know, you have to be sensitive now. Representation in industry is complex all over, right? I work in tech, right? Tech and representation have a terrible balance.
And there's an article that just came out about upper management in tech industries. You saw it.
Even my company, which is diverse and wonderful, and I use they, them pronouns, and everyone has been fantastic, and we have a bunch of people who are out, and the company's really great, but all of the management, all of the leadership, they're all cis, heterosexual, white men who are, you know, much older, and, you know, you can do a lot with being sensitive. They've created a company. They are sensitive to it. They've created a company where people are sensitive about it. But it's still not balanced. It's not even, right? And so it's a mix of things, and it's too complex to say, well, if we just do X, Y, or Z thing, right, we'll get representation. But I think sensitivity from people who are creators, sensitivity from people who have power is important. And then I think also, like, we need to uplift the voices who are writing or sharing or giving their lived experiences, you know, and believe them and justify, like, you know, validate them. And I just want to throw this out there before I forget. I am not reading this comic, but someone sent it to me. The Hulk, the Asian Hulk.
Joy, yeah.
Oh my God, number 15 was like all of these Asian superheroes all together fighting, and they all went out to dinner, and there were like little, you know, Asian American stereotype but culture touchstones. I cried. Like,
I should point out it's written by a Korean American as well, which is key to what.
Amazing.
What is this comic?
It's the Totally Awesome Hulk.
The Totally Awesome Hulk.
Yes.
Is amazing representation wise.
Totally Awesome, maybe?
Totally awesome. It is, and a lot of diversity conversations don't include Asian Americans, honestly. And Asian American experience is left out of a lot of diverse media, even, right? If you look at, like, the CW is doing a lot of really, like, awesome comic shows in a lot of ways. They have a lot of diverse casts or whatever, but there are very few Asian people represented in those shows. So, you know, it comes down to you have to continue having the conversation, I think.
What you just said reminded me of Margaret Cho joke though too. Is that when you have a representation of a Asian character, when she does it, it's like you become the focus of all of that stuff too. So you can never get it right. You know, I'm doing the joke badly. After obviously paraphrasing. Another thing she said that reminded me. Stan Lee came out about this. And he said this back in the day, I think, when Spider-Man was created, when Miles Morales, which is actually my favorite thing to read because I love Bendis' writing, that the thing about Spider-Man, which in a lot of ways is just Superman as a teenager, right, from the colors to his job to everything, is that the full mask that every kid, why Spider-Man was so popular, especially among, I mean, it was huge with black kids, like in the 60s. And one of the reasons why I think anybody could be under that mask, you know what I mean? Which I always thought was very cool. And like I said, so I interviewed Gabby, and I'm just gonna read real quick. She said, you know, I asked her, I said, how much does America's, what's the character's name? Sexual identity play in the series? She says, America's a vibrant, young, fierce, and gorgeous superhero babe. You can bet your Yeezys she's gonna be dating, but it's not gonna be some heavy meditation on the stresses, inequities, and violence faced by LGBTQ people. We get enough of that in the real world. And I said, you know, and then I asked her, I said, you know, when it comes to comic creators who have amped up the representation, how do you respond to critics that say this is just like, you know, BS PC? And she says, I urge folks who are raging about a little baby lesbian Latina having her own comic series to reflect on their feelings. Like, why are you so mad? If it means that much to you to be a bully and revel in antagonizing and being violent towards people who are different from you, then that's something you've got to figure out within yourself. People like me, brown, queer, chunky, other, get called special snowflakes when all many of us are trying to do is make room for everyone. That means you have to share space, time, resources, and attention with someone that just won't share? Yikes, aren't we supposed to love our neighbors or something? And I thought that was an amazing answer, so